This is the Don't Care Didn't Ask podcast.
Welcome. If this is your first time tuning into the podcast, I
You
apologize.
don't want to listen to us anymore.
Whoa. Wow.
Welcome to the Don't Care Didn't Ask podcast, where we're gonna give you football opinions and nothing else. So Trey, week six is in the books for the NFL football season.
Yep.
This is the first week where in my picks I have gone. Drumroll, please, Trey. 5 for 5 on my picks this week. 4-1 last week. We're 18-7 on the season. We did not do any week 1. Those picks were Trey. Rams -5.5. Thought they'd take care of business against the Cardinals, and they absolutely did. They absolutely did. The Cardinals got a lot of moxie, but not a lot of skill. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of that if you're gonna win games. The Bengals -2.5. It was closer. It was honestly, I went with that line because it was closer than I thought it would be. I think they won by 4, so -3.5 would have worked there too. But it wasn't as high scoring as I thought it was going to be. 17-13 game, but still it hits. Miami -13.5 was in big trouble when Carolina went up 14-0.
That's wild.
To start the game, which I was like, well, Miami -13.5 is dead, but nope, they definitely rallied back, and I think the score was 42-21 at the end, so 21 points there, so spared 8 points on the line.
The Panthers are gonna Panther.
Panthers gonna Panther.
Say it again.
Thielen, though, if you have him in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Good going.
I picked him up late in fantasy, and I didn't even realize he was popping off like he was until I just, decided to check him. I was like, maybe I should drop this fool.
Yeah.
Dude's the
no.
third-ranked receiver.
Yeah,
was
good
like,
thing
wait
you
a
didn't
minute.
drop him. I did not see Thielen doing what he's doing this season.
Yeah.
So far,
that's
fantasy-wise. But, hey, there it is. Raiders, money line. The Patriots line was definitely scary, just because even though I said last week I am not gonna mess with them, I did think they would lose this game because I really do think they're that bad now. I think they are that bad. Mm-hmm. They lost it. I mean, Garoppolo wasn't even in the whole time. Brian Hoyer came in, I'm pretty sure, and beat them.
Wow.
And to be fair to Mac Jones threw a absolute dot to Devontae Parker at the end of the game that hits his fingertips, and then really it hit his whole hand.
Yeah.
And then in the presser, he's like, "Oh, I just hit my fingertips," which people were upset at him because he wasn't taking accountability. As opposed to the Devontae Smith on the Eagles, where he drops a pass, and then afterwards, I don't know if you saw the clip, he's like, the reporter's like, anything to learn from this experience? He's like, nothing to learn, just catch the ball.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Texans money line. Enough said, man. They all hit 5-0 on that one, and we're feeling
Yes, sir.
pretty good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So week 6, just random stuff, random notes that I saw. In the Jets-Eagles game, there was a touchdown from Jalen Hurts. And I don't know if you saw it, Trey. A touchdown from Jalen Hurts where it's a rushing touchdown. He leans over the goal line kind of late. He's pretty much horizontal to the ground. And the refs come in and say, it's not a touchdown, Jets ball. It was 4th down.
Yeah.
And so, then they go to commercial, and there's not really a talk about any sort of challenge or anything before commercial. Everyone's pretty sure we get back from this commercial break.
No indication.
There's no
at
indication
all.
there's going to be any sort of review.
Typically, even if they don't say anything, you can tell by body language, oh, it's gonna go into review. But
right, no, it wasn't even
no
like
sort of
that.
motion.
I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, they were going to the sideline, taking the helmet off. It didn't look like there was going to be any sort of review.
Yeah.
But they get back from the commercial break, and the ref is like, actually.
Actually, you
Actually,
guys can't see what we're doing. We
actually,
need video,
he did cross the goal line. But yeah, they show you the clip, and you can see that he stretches the ball out past the plane. That much is clear. But what you can't see is that the dude is completely horizontal from the waist down. You can't see where his knee is.
Yeah.
But he looks like he could definitely be down. But
Right.
how do you, if it's not conclusive, how do you overturn that?
You don't.
Why do you overturn it during a commercial break? It's just
That's the
weird.
thing.
It's sketch. Like I said, I don't do conspiracies, but that's weird. Why are we now breaking protocol on stuff that's been, set for years? If it's not conclusive, you go with the ruling on the field.
Exactly.
If the ruling on the field was a touchdown and you still didn't think it was conclusive, well, oh well. I still think he was down. But the ruling on the field was that he was short. And so how do you come back after a commercial break with inconclusive evidence saying he got it? That's just weird. That just doesn't happen. That's not
favoritism.
It's not supposed to happen. Whether it was supposed to happen or not, the Jets come out with a win, which is huge. It's a huge upset of the Eagles, who have looked good this season, like we've said, but we had the conversation. What do we really make of them? And then this brings more questions.
This loss is going to hurt them because they've got much harder games coming up.
We definitely thought that they would take this game, and that's something we'll discuss a little bit later with another thing that I'm going to be doing. But Purdy and the Niners suffer their first loss, Brock Purdy's first loss as a starter against the Browns defense, which is dominant, which is doing really, really well this season. And not so great weather in Cleveland. What do you make of that, Trey? What do we think of the Brock Purdy, who didn't have good stats, by the way, this game?
I think it just proves that Brock Purdy is human, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying, like, eventually he's got to drop a game. And I guess it just...
Right.
You know, the NFL... It was one of those games where it's like, oh, you think they're going to win, and they don't. He finally had one.
Right. It was one of those games, too. I mean, he did not have a clean pocket for a majority of that game. And what you see with Purdy and the Niners is that lots of times he does have that. It's set up in a way, but you got Myles Garrett, who just absolutely... I mean, he didn't destroy Trent Williams, but, I mean, he made Trent Williams look like average.
If anyone's going to give him work,
crazy.
Myles Garrett is going to be able to do that.
Trent Williams is like... He made Trent Williams look like a jabroni almost on some of these plays. And, I mean, Purdy facing pressure, you kind of saw some errant throws. You saw a little bit of indecisiveness. Well, I mean, we'll see how that works out going forward. I still am not jumping off the Purdy train, but definitely something to keep in mind as the season gets further on and as you get towards a playoff push. What's that going to look like for him? We don't know. We'll see.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Debo and McCaffrey exit the game at some point?
Debo and McCaffrey hurt. I think Debo's is a shoulder. I'm not sure what McCaffrey is. I'm not sure of their status this week. But he didn't have either of them late in the game either, which is another thing to note. So we'll see. And another thing to note with that game is actually he got them into field goal range. They lose because the field goal just drifts wide right. And they would have won by a point if it had made it. So it's not even like Purdy sold at the very end. It's just that it was a tough game for him and the whole team.
Yeah.
And I think we don't need to read into it. I think it's just something to note, something to take into consideration when kind of looking at the rest of these games for them this season. No more undefeated teams in the NFL, Trey. Eagles and Niners both fall. Both getting upset. Mm-hmm. Niners get upset by a backup quarterback in P.J. Walker, who did not throw for any touchdowns and 2 picks in that game. And that should tell you, that should be a testament to how good that Browns defense is. Their quarterback kind of sold, and they still won the game. Not only are they
stopping the most dominant offense in the league, but you're also like carrying your poverty offense yourself.
Right, yeah. Which I didn't watch the game too hard, but it's impressive nonetheless for the Browns defense. And then the Eagles getting upset by Zach Wilson, who's been playing pretty good in the past couple of weeks. I know when
Aaron Rodgers who?
Yeah. I know when we first got in there a couple weeks, it was like, okay, this guy stinks. We need to get Kirk in here. He's gonna get traded. Zach Wilson now, he's been playing all right. He's not selling the game. He is being responsible, more decisive with the ball. A-Rod looks... Did you see A-Rod warming up?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like...
He's making a miraculous comeback. He's already off crutches, throwing the ball in warm-ups.
Which what I hear is unprecedented when it comes to an Achilles. I'm not a doctor, but that's what everyone's saying is this does not happen.
And some people are speculating he might return later in the season.
A lot of people saying he might come back in I heard somebody say earlier December. Yeah. I don't know. There's a guy Andrew Siciliano. He said he did the math on it, and the Cam Akers Achilles, which he kind of historically came back from a couple years ago, if you remember. If the same math was used to determine when Aaron Rodgers would come back, it would be 3 days after the Super Bowl, he said, per Andrew Siciliano. So, but he's saying he's tracking to come back quicker than that. So it's if the Jets do pull off kind of an unlikely deep playoff run and A-Rod can get back, that would be Can you imagine like the ratings on that game when
Yeah,
the A-Rod return game when he tore his towards Achilles week 1?
Do they give him the start though? If Zach Wilson keeps up
Absolutely, man.
what he's doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's A-Rod. You can't, especially if it's a must-win game like that. If it is the playoffs. I mean, I guess it might depend on how Zach Wilson is doing. If Zach Wilson is like lights out, I don't know. But still, it'd be really, really silly to sit A-Rod in a game like that.
Yeah.
It's A-Rod.
And then a hypothetical situation, if they do somehow do that and A-Rod gets the start and then he just drops the game.
Yeah, he just like craps himself.
That's oh man. You got to feel bad for Zach Wilson at that point.
Yeah, you do. But can you imagine if you start Zach Wilson and you get you get
So
blown
many
out,
possibilities.
or you lose it all, and it's like, well, if you started Aaron Rodgers, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So it's like
It's a
it's
lose-lose
tough.
situation
But
unless
that's
you
way
win.
in the future, and that's kind of an unlikely scenario. But I mean, if that happens, that'd be really super duper hype.
Yeah.
The no call at the end of the Giants-Bills game. The Giants leading that game for most of the game. The Bills with no points throughout 3 quarters, which is crazy. Bills end up winning the game 14-9, but on the last play, Tyrod Taylor throws into the end zone to Darren Waller, who definitely 100% gets held the entire time. The refs let it go. At the end of games like that, I understand when like certain refs and crews just let the guys hand fight, and you know if it's both ways, then let it go, hold the flag. But it definitely looked like Darren Waller was at a serious disadvantage that whole time. Like the left arm is not allowing. He's not able to get up, and I understand when that's happening in real time, that's not as easy to see. And so it's a no call to where it's like, yeah, that probably should have been called, and the Giants probably should have got another crack at it at the very end of the game. Well, what do you make of it? Like,
I think you're right. It's very
upon replay, it's really conclusive. But I understand if you're looking at it as a referee, as an official, and if you see Waller's hand is kind of outstretched too, so you might be thinking they're both pushing, so I'm not calling anything. And it's kind of like a weird angle you have to see it from to see that Johnson is holding on to him the whole time.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not too upset about it. Should it have been called? Probably, but stuff like that's going to happen every week.
Yeah,
But
and this scenario could happen with any team.
Yeah.
But for it to bail the Bills out of a game and give them a win,
Right.
pair that alongside with the Eagles touchdown you were talking about, and then the Chiefs,
Yeah.
the sauce penalty we were talking about.
Yeah, last week.
It's not a great look.
It just always seems like it
One could build
happens.
an argument.
It seems like it always happens in prime time when the lights are brightest and everyone's watching. It just feels
and it
like
favors the popular team.
it just feels like it always does.
Coincidence?
I think
yes.
not. I don't know. I don't know. Brandon Staley, you know how to talk about him. He's an idiot. He's a complete buffoon. I'm not going to get on that soapbox again, but we will talk about why I think he's a complete buffoon. Dallas at LA last night. It was 4th and 1. They were down 3 in the red zone. Really, this was in the first half. And they pull out this boot pass, incomplete, turnover. They lose by 3 points. And I look at stuff like that, and I'm like, if you take the 3 there, how does it affect the rest of the game? Why inside the 20? I think they might have been inside the 10, actually. Does he go for this and sell a whole possession when you could have tied the game up and possibly affected the rest of the game? It's stuff like that, which is why I say I don't think he is smart. To give him some credit where it's due, he did the same thing another point in the game. It was a touchdown. But what I'm saying is, if you take the points when you can get them, you likely maximize your chance of winning.
Right.
And the thing about Brandon Staley is every time he's faced with these 4th and shorts, it doesn't matter where he's in the field. It doesn't matter what logic kind of like would dictate. He is
just
so
an analytics
It's
junkie.
the analytics, man. He loves the analytics. And analytics lets you get up to like 4th and 3 or something while giving you some sort of like way you could convert that. But it's like there's a reason that teams weren't doing that for so long. Yeah. That analytics stuff is so new relative to the game of football. Like, there's a reason teams, like, it used to be, like, on 4th and 1, we're punting, or we're kicking the field goal. Like, it's not a question. And offenses, I think, are more creative, or more innovative, and are better now. And it's not even necessarily that you don't go for it on 4th and 1. You don't consider it, but it's not something to where you just throw logic out the window every time, which what it feels like he does most of the time.
Yeah, on paper, the analytical decisions, they look good, and you can make a case that they make sense, but it also just, when they don't convert,
right,
it opens opportunity to look like a bonehead every single time. And it's just...
And like I say, with analytics, there's so many variables that determine the percentage of these plays that are successful. Yeah. You can't just look at the data and say, okay, teams are 70% on 4th and short in this part of the field, because there's not the same set of circumstances every single time.
Yeah, there's different matchups.
There's different matchups every single game. So you cannot just look at the raw data and say, well, if they win most of the time, then logic's in our favor. The data is in our favor. The analytics are in our favor. You kind of have to throw that out of the window, because you don't have the same matchups.
You got to incorporate your own team's strengths.
You do
as a head coach, you need to know what that is.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't.
Anyway, I'm not gonna get on my Staley soapbox again, man. We all know how I feel about that guy. Buffoon definitely deserves to lose. Definitely deserves to not have his job. Trey, the best occurrences of this week. Washington, I don't pay a lot of attention to college, but I saw this clip. I was like, we gotta include it. Desmond Howard, who was doing some sort of pregame for the Washington game, quarterback Michael. Is it Penix or is it Penix?
Spelled Penix.
But the thing is, look, he's doing the pregame. He's trying to get everybody hype, and he says something.
He's dealt with a lot of adversity to get here. He's grateful to be Washington's quarterback, and they know that every time he takes the field, he's going to bring that big Penix energy. He's going to bring that big Penix energy. He's going to bring that big Penix energy.
Was 3 times really necessary?
Absolutely not.
Did he?
He didn't just double down on that. He tripled down on big Penix
He's gonna bring that big Penix energy.
And I'm sure in person it sounds a lot better, but coming out of a phone speaker, I swear at least one time he straight up just said male genitalia.
Buddy knows what he's doing. He absolutely knows what he's doing. I mean, I think it's hilarious, but that's gotta be mentioned on our best of the week. Stephon Diggs, there was a false start during the game where he just kept running.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Usually when there's a false start, guys,
just short it out.
And this segment will be so much better with video, which we promise we're working on. But he's kind of like, usually guys like take the step like, oh man, my beat.
Oh, wait.
Oh, what?
I made a mistake.
Yeah. Nah, bro.
My fault.
Bro keeps running, and the Giants, you can see the Giants pointing to him like, hey, yo, which I thought was actually hilarious.
Like, where is he going?
Number 3 on best, Trent Williams, during the pregame Browns-Niners skirmish. Everyone's fighting, and then dude comes over, like, he starts hustling over, and then everyone just seems to kind of calm down. Like, Trent Williams goes, and he clears it out like, hey, we got a problem here? And Browns are like, no, Mr. Williams, sir, we don't. Everyone just kind of calms down.
I would too, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, Trent Williams.
That dude's scary.
Hustling toward me like that. I think I'm going to move out the way.
Maybe.
You need my wallet, keys? What do you want? Number 4 on best, or maybe this is worst. Damar Hamlin's number on the back of the Bills ambulance. Okay, so when Damian Harris went down, and it was a bit of a scary situation, Damar Hamlin-esque on Sunday night, where he goes down, he's not moving, but he gives a thumbs up as he's going, and report later he has movement in all his extremities. It's a neck injury. He's like fine from a life standpoint right now. So, but as they're taking him away in the ambulance, Damar Hamlin's, they shut the doors, and Damar Hamlin's number on both windows at the back of the ambulance. And I'm like, I get what you're going for, but it is a little bit out of touch. It's a little bit tone deaf. Like, the guy kind of died a little bit. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? It's weird. Whoever's decision that was, just maybe not.
Yeah, put him on a t-shirt, put him on like a mug.
Yeah.
Don't put his number on the ambulance.
Yeah, also, when do you decide to take it off? Like, at what point in time were you like, all right, let's kind of get this? Because
like 50 years down the road, there's just going to be a 3 on your ambulance.
Right, yeah. So anyway, Number 5 for best Chargers fan. Her name, actually, I learned this from McAfee, is Marianne. Last night.
What an NPC on name. What in the world? Marianne.
That was Marianne. And she is seen at the Chargers game getting super hype, which we said we didn't know there was Chargers fans that rode for the Chargers like that. I feel like when there's a Chargers
Wait, there's
game.
Chargers fans?
Wait, there's Chargers fans?
Those exist?
I mean, she was getting hyped, dude, and she, which was fun. It was fun to watch. The camera was kind of on her all game. Maybe her and Taylor Swift can link up and take a bunch of the B-roll, I guess, from NFL games.
Yeah.
But that's it for our 5 best of the week. Trey, let's really quickly talk about running backs. Let's revisit kind of the conversation from the start of the year where it was running backs deserve to be paid. They're essential. And you need to have a good one. So they need to be paid accordingly. Mm-hmm. And then you have the other side, which is they get hurt too much. They don't last long enough. There's too many good ones. You really can't pay them a ton of money. The league doesn't really trend in the direction that running backs are essential anymore. Mm-hmm. What do we think about that? I mean, you have Saquon and Eckler, who were big parts of that whole push. Saquon, who hasn't had a great season so far. He's been hurt, which is one of the things that was talked about. You have Eckler, who's been hurt, who organized the whole Zoom, which is one of the things that was talked about. Like, you guys get hurt. You guys aren't super reliable. Mm-hmm. What do we think about that conversation now as opposed to before week 1?
I think the prime example of just this whole situation is Zach Moss. Zach Moss's breakout. While Jonathan Taylor's off the field, he has stepped up big time. He's putting up big numbers, and he's helping his team in a big way. And he's not the one that got the big contract.
Right.
So.
Right, and Jonathan Taylor's the only one that's been paid out of those 3 that I mentioned, Eckler, Saquon, and Taylor. I don't know if I mentioned Taylor, but you did. Mm-hmm. And you're right about Zach Moss. I mean, the thing is, like, even if Zach Moss doesn't take the job entirely, it's like, what... There's
like you don't need that big name.
You don't need it. There's so many. The problem is
it's cute to have a big name.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, and like fans love it and stuff. But you throw a guy named Zach Moss in there, and he's doing the exact same thing Jonathan Taylor would do.
Exactly. Like who was Kyron Williams before the season? You know what I'm saying?
Was he a rookie?
I don't know. I don't even know. That's my point. I don't know. Like, and it's like, you have so many good running backs in the league that I totally understand where owners are coming from, where it's like, well, shoot, if I can get the job done, and sometimes more, with a guy who's going to show out for like a season, and then kind of do the same next season, maybe with a different guy, who knows? Outside of your, like, Christian McCaffrey, really, at this point, what are you paying? What are you paying them for? And even McCaffrey gets hurt. McCaffrey's hurt right now.
Right.
So it's like, it's really tough because you're like, man, do we take the chance on guys like this and, possibly take a huge cap hit and maybe for not a good return? Mm-hmm. You see Breece Hall coming back off the ACL. He looks great, but still, what's the risk of re-injury?
Yeah.
When do you pay him? What do you pay him? And like owners feel like they don't have to worry about that because there will be a guy that comes up and shows up that we can use. And like that's proven true in the past like few years. Running back rooms have been a committee, a carousel for most teams.
And I understand the running backs' desire to get paid because it's, I guess, kind of like a respect thing amongst the league.
Right.
But also, where was I going with this? Shoot, I totally lost it.
But he lost his train of thought.
Frick, you know what? Come back to me.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the thing where.
Okay, shut up. Sorry.
You remember?
Okay, but like. But
bro thought he remembered.
The NFL is a business, okay?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the NFL is all about money. It's entertainment. It's a business. And running backs, they're just not gonna get that pay if they continue to trend the way of getting hurt, getting replaced every single season. The whole respect and desire for money, it's not a strong case, and I think it's going to continue in the direction of running backs aren't going to get paid what they think they need to get paid.
Fortunately, I think that's what's going to happen.
And I think if you're a running back, I think your passion to play football and make millions of dollars, it should be enough to keep you happy,
and
honestly.
You'd like to see as a fan, your guys get paid what they're worth. And I've always, what you just said about, your passion to play football and you're already making millions regardless, I understand that, but you also have to look at it from a market perspective to where it's if at your job, you are one of the best performers, and you do really well, you've been there for a long time, but you're making the same or less than the guy who's just starting out when, you feel like you deserve that kind of recognition and you deserve that to be reflected in your check, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of the same thing. These guys, yes, they are making so much money regardless of what they're getting paid, really, that it doesn't make a difference. They're not going to struggle financially. But it's a thing where it's hey, yeah, show me the respect I deserve, pay me market value for where my place is in the market, because you take offense too if that was you at your job and you're well, wait a minute. So you can't really think of it from they're making millions of dollars anyway sort of thing, just because you have to think of it from a market perspective and how you have to sustain that as far as being a player. So I get where they're coming from. I get what they want, but I just don't think it's going to happen for them until there's a real shift in running back reliance, I think. Because you look at teams around the league, and teams are not running back reliant anymore. A lot of them. Even the most running back reliant teams that you see.
Still don't use
the
them.
Titans, for example.
Yeah. Very
reliant on Derrick Henry. They cannot do anything through the air right now. And look at them. They suck. So owners see that and go, well, what the heck am I going to pay a running back for? We got one of the best ones in the league, and we still aren't good. So it's because, so it's tough. It's a tough situation. But let's move on to Trey. You want to talk about your Falcons and their rough day at home versus the Commanders?
Poor Falcons.
First loss for Desmond Ridder at home since high school. How do you feel?
Yeah, I was talking trash to my camera director too, Addie. If you ever end up listening to this, I'm sorry, but yeah, that was unfortunate. I was like, oh, we're gonna give y'all a long day. No, we did not. Arthur Smith, I don't know what's up with him, but he was just making really bad decisions, and the team looked sloppy. We came out strong. We scored on our first drive, and I thought that's how we were going to maintain our play, especially after the Commanders had just suffered a pretty bad loss to the Bears. I was like, okay, I mean, we can get the job done, right? At home with Desmond Ridder under center? Yeah, no, he didn't do us any favors at all either. So it was kind of chippy. The Commanders at one point had a nice punt return that put them in good position, and they scored. So our defense was holding up pretty well. They were doing their fair share, but it was our offense in the second half.
Yeah, Ridder looked.
It was really bad.
Pitiful.
Arthur Smith's play calling was just not good. Game flow management was terrible. We had a whole bunch of delay of game penalties. We had one delay of game,
right?
And then we were getting set for the play after the penalty, and we almost had another one, and we had to burn our last time out.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember that. I was like, well, how in the world do you have one delay of game and then not get a play call
and then have another one? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
I don't understand. And then there was another point where, so we're down 2 touchdowns. We're down 14, and we score a touchdown, and Arthur Smith decides to go for 2. Okay, it's 24-16 now, and Arthur Smith says, "Let's go for 2."
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand why you would do that, because I mean, you don't get it, and we didn't get it.
You didn't get it, yeah.
And now that's just unnecessary stress put on an offense that's already not performing.
Right. Yeah. So going for two in that situation is strange. Well, I get where he's coming from. You get it. Now it's 24 to
18.
It'd be 24 to 18,
And
then
so
if you
you
get a
just
touchdown
score
extra points,
again and you win.
But I don't. The risk reward there, and then you have it weighing on you the whole time afterwards. If you don't get it, when we score, we got to get 2 points.
Yeah.
As opposed to just thinking about touchdown, extra point. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our defense gave us every opportunity to come back and score again. Ritter threw 3 interceptions in the second half.
He threw 3 in the second half.
3 all game. 3, they were all in the second half.
Jeez.
So he was just folding under pressure. He was not able to clutch it up. It was an ugly game that I wish I just didn't watch, honestly.
You see, I thought you guys would cover the spread. I'm pretty sure you guys were favored. I'm not mistaken, but I had a weird feeling about it. But I was like, they'll cover like a 3-point spread, but that didn't happen. Nope. That didn't happen. So tough day.
We had 5 sacks too. We won like every area on paper other than interceptions and points.
Yeah, Howell's had a big day though, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Good fantasy quarterback, Howell. He might be turning into a good quarterback just in general. But yeah, tough day to be a Falcons fan. 24-16, Washington. Trey.
Yes, sir.
I got some things for you. You're gonna overreact or you're not.
Okay.
San Fran is not who we thought they were, which are contenders. Overreaction or not?
Big overreaction.
Okay.
Big overreaction.
I threw you a softball. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Huge
okay.
overreaction.
Losing the backup quarterback who threw no touchdowns and 2 picks. I mean,
it's the NFL.
It's the NFL.
Purdy was gonna have his weird game.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Right.
And here it is.
Now,
they're steady contenders. I'm 100% believe that.
All right. Okay. Eagles skid the rest of the season and miss the playoffs.
Ooh.
They're 5-1.
Miss the playoffs?
They're 5-1 after week 14 because you got to think of the bye. They could easily be 6-7. Let me get the schedule up real fast, okay? Because this is not something that looks good if you're an Eagles fan. So you're 5-1 right now. Everybody pretty much thought you'd be 6-0 after facing the Jets. Mm-hmm. So the Jets loss is big. Next you got the Dolphins. Then you have the Commanders. Then the Cowboys. Then the Chiefs and the Bills and the Niners and the Cowboys again. Then you have kind of a little bit easier time the rest of the way. Seahawks, Giants, Cards, Giants. But I mean,
I personally think that's an overreaction. I think they're too solid of a roster and have had too good of a start to the season for them to miss the playoffs at this point. I think that's an overreaction.
I know, but when you think about the other team in that division who looks pretty good, is Dallas still.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas has to play the Eagles twice too. Let's say they split. You never know. One of those teams is going to need to pick up a wild card spot if they don't win the division, and it really very well could be the Eagles.
Be the Eagles. I think it. I don't think it will be the Eagles. It could be the Eagles. If it is the Eagles, they're gonna get a wild card spot. I believe that for sure.
Okay. All
right.
The
NFC is just not strong enough to kick the Eagles out of the playoffs.
I see that. And Pats should tank for Caleb Williams. Overreaction or not?
Ooh.
On Sunday they did like a QB carousel. It was like,
what's their record?
The Pats are like.
Did they win one game?
They're like 1-5, dude.
They tanked for Caleb. Wow. Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
They had like Malik Cunningham in there on Sunday. I mean, they were putting him in there and alternating him and Mac. My dad was like, "Yeah, they're tanking." I was like, I mean, maybe.
Honestly, yeah, I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should on the down low.
They are easily the worst team in the AFC East. Dolphins 5-1, Bills 4-2, Jets 3-3, and the Patriots all the way down there at 1-5, and you never
love to see it. Honestly, you love to see it from a Falcons fan.
From a Falcons fan, I can understand.
Screw them.
I can understand. Trey.
Yes.
Was that an overreaction or not? By the way, so we get that clear. Pat should take for Caleb Williams.
No,
not an overreaction. That's definitely
they should.
Definitely something that could happen.
Do it.
finally, to wrap up the podcast, we have a battle for the ages. Trey, who's winning in a fight? Dan Campbell
Okay.
or Robert Saleh?
Whoa. This is hand-to-hand?
This is just kind of hand-to-hand
Okay, just like street fight.
street
type
fight,
thing.
yeah.
Okay. How much does Robert Saleh weigh? Do we know? Do we know the metrics?
Bert just asked me if I knew how much Robert Saleh weighed.
Sorry.
I don't know. Robert Saleh weighs at least like 250, 260 all muscle. I don't know.
Dan Campbell clears
I think
Robert Saleh.
You know why I think Dan Campbell too? Is because dude, like, we'll talk about like biting your knees off.
He's gonna go
like,
for the kneecaps. That's why.
He's like, we're gonna be at your front
If
door.
Robert
You don't gotta
Saleh
look
doesn't
for us.
have knee pads, it's over.
I don't know if Robert Saleh has that killer instinct like I think Dan Campbell has.
Yeah.
I think Dan Campbell.
I think he's feisty, but Dan Campbell is just a different breed.
right. I think Dan Campbell.
He's got too much emotion. He's not gonna be held back
it's
at all.
very possible that Dan Campbell is like a serial killer. I think.
Whoa. Okay. Overreaction. You see him cry for his players that one. You see the
I
clip?
did, yeah.
He's like, I do this for y'all, man.
Dude, he goes so hard for
I
that
don't think
team.
he could kill anyone.
He goes
honestly.
so hard for that team. You gotta respect it. But the Lions are doing great, man. Best team in the NFC North right now. Probably will win the North. But
I'm putting my bank account on Dan Campbell, by the way.
But do you care?
No.
Did you ask?
No.
Well, I did.
We taught you and
And now we're not gonna talk anymore.
Wow. Nice.
We'll see you guys later, man.
All right, see ya.